The United Kingdom and France have signed the Northwood Declaration, a landmark step in European defence history. This agreement, years in the making, represents a new era of trust and cooperation between two of Europe's most influential nations. By coming together, the UK and France are sending a clear message to the world about their shared commitment to security and stability on the continent. The Northwood Declaration is a historic agreement to coordinate their independent nuclear deterrence, ensuring that both countries' formidable arsenals are strategically aligned. This move is not just about military hardware, it's about building a framework for ongoing collaboration, intelligence sharing, and mutual support in the face of evolving threats. Unveiled in July 2025 during French President Emmanuel Macron's high-profile visit to the UK, the Pact marks the first formal alignment of Europe's only two nuclear-armed powers. The announcement was met with international attention, highlighting the significance of this unprecedented partnership. Rather than merging their forces or surrendering autonomy, the agreement ensures both nations' nuclear capabilities work in concert for European and NATO security, while preserving each country's national sovereignty. This careful balance allows both the UK and France to maintain independent control, yet act together when it matters most. The declaration establishes a new level of high-level strategic dialogue and joint planning, moving well beyond previous collaborations. Regular meetings between top military and political leaders will ensure that both countries remain closely coordinated and ready to respond to any crisis. It's a powerful political statement. Any grave threat to Europe could now trigger a coordinated response from two resilient nuclear forces, amplifying deterrence and making it clear that aggression against Europe will not go unanswered. In a world of rising uncertainty and shifting alliances, the Northwood Declaration aims to reinforce deterrence, strengthen European unity, and provide a renewed sense of security for the continent's future. The UK-France nuclear pact is a direct response to mounting threats, especially from Russia's aggressive posture. Ongoing conflicts on Europe's eastern flank have forced a re-evaluation of defence strategies as conventional war is no longer a distant memory. Uncertainty about the US commitment to NATO has pushed European leaders to seek stronger intra-European solutions. Modern threats now include cyber attacks, disinformation, and energy weaponization, demanding a more resilient approach. The Northwood Declaration aims to deter both traditional and hybrid threats, reflecting a sober recognition of a fractured international order. Britain and France have concluded that unity is essential for Europe's long-term security. Prime Minister Starmer and President Macron presented the Pact as a defensive measure to preserve peace and deter aggression. Starmer emphasised that any extreme threat to Europe would prompt a joint response, reinforcing deterrence. Macron highlighted the Pact's role in strengthening NATO and reassuring allies, while warning adversaries. Both leaders stressed shared responsibility and a commitment to European security leadership. The agreement is a step toward European strategic autonomy without undermining NATO's collective defence. They framed the pact as a European pillar within NATO, making the alliance stronger and more credible. The message, a more capable, coordinated Europe, is a better partner and a stronger deterrent. Russia's reaction to the Anglo-French Pact was swift and hostile, viewing it as a provocative escalation. The Kremlin framed the agreement as part of NATO's anti-Russian policy, seeing coordinated nuclear forces as a direct threat. Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov warned that Russia would factor this new cooperation into its own military planning. Moscow may adjust its nuclear posture in response, raising tensions across Europe. The pact follows Macron's earlier proposal to extend France's nuclear umbrella, which Russia condemned as nuclear blackmail. Russia sees Europe's coordination as justification for its own military build-up. This deepens the security dilemma, making the pact a new point of friction in already tense relations. The United Kingdom and France, while often described as medium-sized nuclear powers, actually possess some of the most advanced and secure arsenals in the world. France maintains an estimated 290 nuclear warheads, while the UK holds around 225. Though these numbers are far smaller than those of the superpowers, both nations have invested heavily in the modernization and security of their nuclear forces, ensuring their arsenals remain credible and effective deterrents. France maintains a dual system, deploying both submarine-launched ballistic missiles and air-launched cruise missiles. This two-pronged approach gives France flexibility and redundancy, allowing it to respond to threats from multiple platforms. The United Kingdom, on the other hand, relies exclusively on its fleet of Vanguard-class submarines, each armed with Trident ballistic missiles. These submarines operate under a policy of continuous at-sea deterrence, meaning at least one is always on patrol, hidden beneath the waves. The UK's reliance on American-made Trident missile technology has fostered deep cooperation between London and Washington. This new era of Anglo-French coordination, therefore, marks a significant shift in European nuclear strategy as both nations seek to strengthen their collective security. In stark contrast, the United States and Russia each possess over 5,000 nuclear warheads, dominating global nuclear calculations and shaping the balance of power for decades. The combined UK-France total is less than 10% of either superpower's arsenal, a stark reminder of the vast disparity in nuclear capabilities. Yet, in the world of nuclear deterrence, credibility and survivability often matter more than sheer numbers. The ability to guarantee a retaliatory strike is what truly deters adversaries. Both the UK and France rely on highly survivable sea-based deterrents, with their submarines designed to remain undetected for months at a time, deep beneath the ocean's surface. This ensures that even in the event of a devastating first strike, both nations retain the ability to respond with overwhelming force, maintaining the core principle of mutually assured destruction. By coordinating their nuclear forces and sharing strategic information, the UK and France complicate any adversary's calculations, strengthening Europe's overall deterrent posture and reinforcing the security of the continent. The Northwood Declaration does not create a shared nuclear button. Both nations retain sovereign control over their arsenals. The French President and British Prime Minister remain the sole authorities for nuclear use. There's no joint command or shared codes. Cooperation will occur through oversight committees and strategic dialogue, aligning thinking on threats and responses. Joint planning and intelligence sharing will ensure complementary, not conflicting actions. National independence is non-negotiable, rooted in both countries' identities and doctrines. The Pact is a coordination of independence, not a unified European force, creating two linked but separate centres of decision. This structure amplifies deterrence while preserving sovereignty. The Northwood Declaration is part of a broader effort to deepen UK-France military cooperation. Both nations are expanding their jointly deployable units, aiming for full combat readiness and rapid crisis response. Enhanced joint exercises, integrated command structures, and shared logistics are key goals. Collaboration extends to developing next-generation military hardware and cyber defences. This practical cooperation underpins their strategic declarations, creating a powerful European security pillar. Britain and France are aligning not just at the nuclear level, but across all domains of military power. The Northwood Declaration followed months of debate, sparked by Macron's March 2025 proposal to extend France's nuclear protection to other European allies. The idea was welcomed by some, especially Eastern European nations, but raised concerns about command, burden sharing, and NATO's role. The UK responded cautiously, opposing formal nuclear guarantees to new countries. This difference required careful negotiation, leading to a partnership of equals rather than a French-led umbrella. The final pact allows both nations to strengthen European security without compromising their principles. It's a testament to London and Paris, finding common ground on sensitive security issues. The Northwood Declaration marks a pivotal turning point for European security, signaling a new era of cooperation and strategic vision across the continent. As global threats evolve and the geopolitical landscape shifts, Europe is taking bold steps to redefine its own security architecture and assert its place on the world stage. This declaration strengthens the continent's role within NATO, ensuring that European voices and interests are more prominent in collective defense decisions. It also demonstrates a renewed commitment to transatlantic unity, even as Europe seeks greater autonomy. By coordinating their nuclear arsenals, the United Kingdom and France are taking unprecedented steps to integrate their deterrence capabilities, sharing intelligence and resources to maximize their effectiveness. This collaboration reduces Europe's reliance on the United States for its nuclear umbrella, empowering the continent to take greater responsibility for its own security and future. Together, the UK and France are creating a more robust and credible deterrent, capable of responding to a wide range of threats and reassuring their allies across Europe. This move answers long-standing calls for greater European responsibility in defence, encouraging other nations to contribute more actively to the continent's collective security. If successful, it could lead to a more balanced alliance where European and North American partners share both the burdens and benefits of security. However, Russia's hostile reaction highlights the risk of escalating tensions, as Moscow views these developments as a direct challenge to its influence and security interests. This could spark a new arms race, with both sides investing heavily in advanced weaponry and military technology, raising the stakes for the entire region. The challenge for European leaders will be to manage these complex dynamics through skillful diplomacy, open dialogue, and clear communication in order to prevent misunderstandings and maintain stability. The Pact is more than just a military agreement. It represents a strategic realignment, positioning Europe to better face the uncertainties of a rapidly changing world. In an era marked by unpredictable threats and global instability, this new approach aims to make Europe more resilient and adaptable. Europe's oldest allies are forging a new shield for collective defense, setting an example of unity and innovation for the rest of the continent. By laying this foundation, they are helping to build a more cohesive, powerful, and secure Europe for generations to come.